Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast. And we may or may not be monetized now. I don't know how it
Hi.
works.
Yeah. We changed some stuff
Yeah.
and things may or may not be happening. We do not know.
Yeah. We honestly do not know. I kind of only signed up for this thing so that we wouldn't have a time limit while recording. So,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah. It
see
that was just an extra.
if we get an ad, we'll get an ad. If not, we still get free recording, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep. We're still coming out on top.
We still win in the end. We still win. Also, I invested $200 into
Yep.
this platform we currently use,
Mm,
Zencaster. Did not mean to give them free promo, but kind of just did. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So everyone use Zencaster so that when I become a stockholder, I become rich.
Yes. Help
Uh,
us, please.
Help us, please. How was your week though, Kelly?
It was all right. Um kind of busy at one point. Little irritated on Friday with my supervisor.
Oh, I was
Not a
irritated
good.
most of the week.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah,
of the
we
week.
there was an issue at my job and the main system that we use was down, and you can't do anything when the system is down. Like I cannot do my job at all when the system is down. And so I decided to scroll on my phone a little bit, read. I was reading, and my supervisor walks up to me and is like, "Hey, are you on break?" And I'm all like, "No." He's like, "Find something to do." And I was like what? Like
I would have started
what?
tapping on the keyboards like a monkey. Just would have been clickety clack clack
Like
clack clack.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like what's his name from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? When he starts typing, he just like bangs his hands on the keyboard.
Or Eve from Life Size, just tapping
Yes.
random letters
Yes. Yes.
with a
That
smile
was
on your
that was going
face.
to be me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I didn't do any work for the last 2 hours on
Cool.
Friday, which I am not mad at. I'm fine with that. It is warm where I'm at. Spring
Lucky.
is finally showing up.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, it's going to reach 80s this week. Jordan hates me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I
Um,
do.
yeah,
What about
yeah.
it?
um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the warmer weather that's coming.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to how cold it will be in my office because for some reason they like perpetually have it in the
Oh,
60s or the
office
50s.
buildings are horrible. I don't
Like
know. I think it's like some law that every office building has to be set at like 65 degrees when it
I
gets
thought it
hot
was
outside.
68.
I swear it's lower. It'd be freezing in office buildings all
No.
the time.
And you know what's worse? Like where I live, it's a little bit warmer during the winter than everybody else. But we got down to like low 30s, high 20s at one point, and they still had the AC on at work.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe they don't have heaters. Maybe.
That's what I was saying. Like at one point I made a joke that like we don't have heaters because the AC is literally always on. And because like where I work in my building, there's a little hallway and you can literally feel it when you like go from my part of the building to the front part of the building. You can feel the AC just blowing in that little hallway. I'm just like,
Oh
absolutely
no.
not. Absolutely not. So
Can you at least bring like your own little like space heater?
somebody did bring a space heater and
Did they get
they
in
were
trouble?
they got in trouble because they tripped something.
How?
I don't know what they
I would
did. I think it
understand if
was
I would understand if like a manager came over and saw it and was like, "Hey, that's a fire hazard." But How did it
Yeah,
trip something? That's
I
so
honestly
weird.
don't know. I don't know what they did. But I have a blanket at my desk. I have fingerless gloves at my desk, so I can like still type on my keyboard. Yeah, it's a mess.
Wow, that's awful.
It it gets that cold in there. I'm just like I can't even like enjoy my cold coffee sometimes because I'm just so cold. I'm like
Oh,
it's like I love
my
it, but at the same
I
time I'm like what the heck?
I understand your plight though. In my office, like this last summer, like we're in like a room and it would get fucking frigid in there. Like so cold. And there's like a heater on the wall with like a thermostat and it would always say that it was at 71 and we would like turn it up as high as fucking possible and it would never go up. And so we had to like file a ticket with like the maintenance people and they came in and they were like yeah, the heat and the air does not work in this room, so you're just gonna have to open up your doors. And I was like, that does
What?
I was like, first off, that doesn't make any sense. I was
Right.
like, it's 75 degrees outside. There's no way it would be this cold in here if like the AC and the heating unit didn't work in here. I was like,
Right.
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But
the math
after
ain't
that,
mathin' right now.
but after that, it kind of resolved itself. To this day, it's still
Oh.
colder in our area than it is in the rest of the building.
Oh.
And we can't,
Okay.
we don't know why. And we were very vindicated because sometimes people will come in and be like, "Oh, it's kind of chilly in here." We're like, "Yep."
You're like, yes, please say that louder so everyone else can also hear that it's chilly in here.
Yes. And so like we try to like psych ourselves out. Like on our big TV, we usually have
Psych
like
ourselves out.
we usually have like a fireplace scene with like mood music going on
No.
or like a beach
Oh
scene. Like
no.
we're like,
Yeah.
it's a little chilly in here.
You're
But
like,
yeah,
let's lie to ourselves so
but yeah,
that we feel warmer.
all office buildings need to be checked.
Yeah, they really do. Like, y'all really do be playing with your AC systems.
Yeah. Don't you want to save some money?
Right.
Like set it at 68 like a normal person would. Be energy efficient.
Right. Y'all always tripping about how y'all don't have money. It's because you're wasting it on AC.
Like it's 75 degrees outside. Like it's not that hot. Like just turn it
Right.
down,
It's
just
not.
turn it down a little. We'll be fine.
Right. Like, I don't need to be freezing all the time. It's okay.
Yeah. Anything else, Kelly?
No, that's it.
Okay. As for me, I went hiking with some friends last weekend. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
It was like the first time it hadn't been raining for like 2 weeks, and so we went out. It was fun. We talked, and then we went to like brunch. It was really good.
Oh, I want to go to brunch.
I love brunch. I got a
Brunch is so nice.
alcoholic lemonade. It didn't taste like alcohol. I swear they didn't put any alcohol in there. I swear there was
Oh,
no alcohol in there.
you're just drinking lemonade at
It
that
was
point.
supposed to be sake soju. I don't know the difference. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Um, couldn't taste a thing.
Oh, interesting.
Could not taste a thing. I
I
I'm
mean,
pretty.
depending on what it was, if it was soju, you probably wouldn't have tasted it because some of them they don't taste like there's alcohol in it.
Oh, okay. But I was just drinking it and I
Yeah.
was like, they probably didn't give me a drip of alcohol and they're still charging me for
They put
alcohol.
the bottle right next to it.
Yeah, they were
The
like,
essence of
osmosis.
alcohol.
Yeah, the
Yes.
essence.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I had a pretty tough week at work and it's going to be another pretty tough week. So, but it's only going to be a 4 day
No.
work week for me. So hopefully I can get through this.
Yay. You got it, bro.
Hopefully I can get through this. Because I sure did want to cut some people out this week. I did. I really did.
No.
All my coworkers are getting on my nerves because I'm a very organized person. I love everything to be very organized, and they are not. and it's sort of
Oh
pissing me
no.
off, and it keeps biting us in the butt because I always have to end up fixing their fucking mistakes because they don't do everything like I would like them to do. And I can't like yell at them or
Uh,
anything because like I'm not their
yeah,
supervisor. Like we're coworkers. It
yeah,
makes me so fucking annoyed.
yeah,
Ugh,
yeah. I think that's the
just
worst part.
yeah, that's the worst part by far.
Hmm.
But I
Well,
can't do anything
hopefully
about
this is
that.
better. Yeah,
Also,
hopefully this is
also,
better.
I got an email on
Hmm.
Friday about my raise, and it was the most vague email
Yes.
I've ever received in my entire fucking life. They were like, "Yes, everyone is getting a raise. We're not going to tell you how much of a raise. You're going to have to talk
Nope.
to you're going to have to talk to your manager about that." And I was just like, "What?"
Right.
I was like, "First off, my so on my next paycheck, my raise will be reflected."
Hmm.
But I don't understand how that's going to work because I don't know how raises work, but I have a feeling you would be able to like negotiate a raise. And how can I negotiate a raise if you already are
Don't
reflecting it on
tell.
my next
Yeah.
paycheck and you didn't
Yeah.
tell me how much it is?
Right.
And then my manager for this company is not the best.
Yeah. He's not the greatest.
He's not the greatest. There's some screws loose. There's some balls dropped.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling I'm not going to find out what my raise is until I get my check.
Yeah. That's probably what it's gonna be,
That's probably what it's going to be.
and it's probably not gonna be that high,
No,
if I'm being real.
I honestly need like $4 minimum, and I
Yeah.
have a feeling it's not going to be $4.
It's not.
I have a stinking like a sneaky suspicion it's going to be like $1.50. I have
I
a
was hoping for at least two for you, dude.
I don't even feel like it's going to be two, Kelly. I feel like it's going to be like a dollar
Oh.
50.
Oh no.
It's okay. I've been slowly applying to other jobs, so it doesn't really matter.
You got it. You'll find a new job.
I'll find a new job.
At this point, I'm not even hoping for your company to do better by you. I'm just hoping you find a
They're not
new
going to
one.
do better, Kelly. They're not.
I know they're not. That's why I want you to find a better job.
So I'm almost to the year mark. So let's just cut our losses.
That is true. You are
I've
almost
done
at the
all I
year
can
mark.
for you. You've done all you can for me. Let's just
Right.
cut our losses.
Right. Bye.
Bye. But yeah, so not the best week, but there's
Yeah.
always next week.
Yeah, there's
Even though I,
always next week.
even though I don't think next week is going to be fine, but what we have to do next week or tomorrow, really, for us.
Mm,
Um,
yes.
in the end, it's not going to matter for me because I'm only going to be there 4 days. They'll have to pick up the slack.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
will have to pick up the slack.
It's
I
not
don't.
up to you. They gotta step up.
They're gonna have to step it up because I will not be there that Friday. Oh, and so will like two other of my coworkers. So only three of them are going to be there, and they're going to have to figure it out themselves. I don't care.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how these people survive without me
They don't. We all know this.
because I called out one day, like 2 weeks ago, and I came back and I was like, "What did you guys fucking do?" Because I was like, "There's still so much left to do. Like, what did you guys do?
They were like cry and freak out without you. Duh.
Y'all just sat here on your phones and shit, didn't you?"
Yep.
Like the amount of work I get done in a day compared to everyone else is astounding. Like
No, seriously.
astounding.
No, seriously.
And this
Like
is why I leave
unrelated,
early.
but yeah, I wish I could, but there was something happened like Thursday, and we had to go through my coworker and I had to go through everybody's like work log so we could find a document for somebody that called in. And we get to my page and she's like, "Yeah, we're going to look through 2 days worth of stuff. You we'll start with the 17th and we'll go to the 20th." I'm like, "Okay." So we looked through the first page and there wasn't too many. And then we get to the 20th and she looks at me, she's like, how did you get all of this done? I'm like, what do you mean, how did I get all this done? Like, this is just a normal day for me. This is what I get done during the day. She's like, that's a lot. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I
Like, are
know
you not
I know
working?
I do I know I do a lot of work. So if we went back and looked at all the work I did, I'm like, yeah, I know it's a lot. I'm sitting here typing away,
Yeah.
messaging people, looking stuff up. Like, yes, I'm fully aware I do a lot of work.
Like, I had no idea. Like, I didn't have a frame of reference because we all kind of do different things in my department. And
Hmm.
so, like, having her look at my stuff and be like, that's a lot. I'm like, is it? But, like, that's a normal day for me. So I guess I'm just working a lot during the day. I don't know. It was just very interesting that she said that. I was like, okay, I'm validated, but
My biggest fear from when I get back from my trip is that they're not going to have finished anything, and then I'm going to have a whole bunch of messages from like our manager being like, I need this done. I
where's
need this done.
everything?
I need this. Where's
Yeah.
this report? Where's blah, 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 blah. Even though I have prepared for this day since I thought I was going to get another job a couple of months ago, I
Mhm.
have created documents on how to do literally fucking everything. And I've sent it to everyone.
You've essentially created training manuals.
Yes, under the guise of, well, if I'm not here and you need some and you guys need to do this, here's how you do it.
Yes,
But
yes,
no, in reality, it's like my I'm getting ready to leave kit.
yes, yes,
So step your
yes.
game
Oh
up.
my gosh. Yes, step your game up because I am going to be out a lot sooner than you think.
Like I save us from being yelled at a lot,
Yeah.
because they make a lot of mistakes, Kelly, a lot of mistakes. So
Uh,
I don't know what they're gonna do when I leave, but yeah.
crumble.
Uh, but enough about that. Enough about that.
Yeah.
Let's get into the movie. We've been talking for like 10 minutes.
Yes.
So
Ah,
so this week we're talking about R.I.P.D. Let's get started.
such a good movie.
So we start off with a voiceover from Nick Walker while he and his partner Roy chase down a monster. And he has like 3 or 4 days of working in
I love how
this,
it's 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Who knows? He's been working for
Who
like
knows?
3 or 4 days in this new department of his called the Rest in Peace Department.
Yes.
And so we cut to 3 or 4 days before, and Nick is burying gold in his backyard. And the next morning, he and his wife have a cute little moment before he goes to work.
You know what? I didn't remember a lot of this movie, but like watching some of it, does his wife not look a little old for him?
Does she? I
Or is that just me?
was not really paying attention.
Okay. Because she looked kind of
She
old.
kind of looked like the girl from Deadpool, so I kind of didn't really.
That's someone else.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
They look the same to me.
Kind
I
of.
don't know.
I don't know.
And so yeah, Nick gets to work. He's a Boston police detective, and he meets up with his like I'm gonna say human partner,
A
Bobby,
live partner?
a life partner, Bobby, and they discuss what they did with their gold. Nick then tells Bobby that he's out of their deal because he doesn't want to risk his relationship with his wife. And Bobby says that he's feeling guilty too and that they should just take it back to evidence.
Are they though? Are they good? Do they feel guilty?
Do they feel guilty? I mean, they took it in the first place.
Yeah. Mm.
Before they were both called in for a drug bust. During the bust, Nick is shot and killed by Bobby because Bobby was not feeling guilty, and
No, he was not.
he
He
was
definitely was not.
he definitely was not, and he was like, "Let's tie up all loose ends." He was like, "I don't want this."
Yes.
And when Nick dies, he's pulled into like a vortex or a black hole or something that drops him at the desk of Mildred Proctor, the supervisor of the R.I.P.D.
I love that actress. She's so funny.
Her name escapes me.
I don't know her name either, but
but
like
most
she
names
was
do.
hilarious in Red.
In Red? Oh, I love Red. I like that movie.
Mhm.
Um, and so she explains how if he works for the R.I.P.D. to catch souls that have escaped judgment, called deados, he will in exchange get a recommendation to get into heaven. Or they never actually say heaven. They
Yeah,
they
no.
they never say hell. They never say heaven. They just point up, point down, use
Yeah.
vague words. Like they don't ever say anything in
Yeah.
particular, but it's heaven.
Yes, it is.
Uh, because in the eyes of God or whoever, like we
Or
said,
whoever,
vague,
whatever council that is.
whatever higher power,
Mhm.
in this world, he is seen as a dirty cop because he stole that gold, even though he was going to give it back.
Yeah. I, do they cancel each other out because he did take it but wanted to give it back? Does that cancel
I don't
that
know.
gold? Okay.
I don't know. There's maybe there's no black and white in heaven or whatever.
Yeah, whatever this is.
Even if you try to rectify your mistake, you still made the mistake. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
Even though the Bible says different, but
Mm.
whatever. And so once Nick agrees to be a part of the R.I.P.D., his badge is seared into his chest, and they walk through the Deado holding area. And Mildred explains that if someone dies and stays on Earth, they begin to rot and turn into monsters.
Ugh.
Yeah. Uh, when they rot, they make the world rot, and this results in bad things like global warming, black plague, bad cell reception. Her
Mhm.
words, not mine.
Yes.
When they get to the precinct, Nick is introduced to his partner Roy after Roy kills a Deado that tries to escape because they have like forever guns. I forgot what they were called.
Yeah, me neither. They're just big, shiny guns, though.
They're just big shiny guns that shoot like cosmic energy and like you're erased from the cosmos. But like, what does that even
Y-
mean? Does that mean
yeah.
like you never existed? Like, what does that mean?
Right. So when you get, is it like in I'm just gonna use this as a comparison. Coco, like when someone forgets you,
You
you
just
just
disappear.
you just disappear and you go to somewhere else, so they don't even know what's going on. So
Yeah.
is it like that? Like you go
Let's
to a
say,
land that
yeah.
nobody knows what's going on?
Yeah, let's say it's like Coco.
Okay.
You just go to a mysterious land where all the
Yeah.
people who have been shot end up in. There's like
Some unknown land.
there's layers of deadness, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
And so Roy is like a cowboy type, and he doesn't want a partner, but Mildred is like, no, you have no choice.
Yes.
And so they go back into the real world, quote unquote, and Roy shows Nick his funeral.
Which is
And
awful, by the way. Why would you
right,
do that?
why would you do that?
Like he literally just died. Why would you show him his funeral?
Awful. And Nick sees Bobby playing coy and sad about his death.
I'd be pissed.
Roy then tells him not to feel bad because his funeral was coyotes eating his body because he lived in the like 1800s or something like that. And
Yeah.
so Nick then runs to tell his wife Julie that he's quote unquote still alive.
Mhm.
And she doesn't believe him because she sees him as someone different
Mhm.
and can't understand what he is saying. And so Bobby has him taken away. Roy then tells him that he looks different to everyone alive, and that if he tries to tell anyone who he is, it comes out as jumbled words.
Mhm.
Roy then shows Nick what they look like, and Nick is an old Chinese man, and Roy is a like super hot woman.
She's an ex Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, you would think they would keep you in the same gender,
Right.
but apparently not.
Also, when do you get to choose?
I don't think you get to choose. I think
You just get
they just give you a body.
okay. Interesting.
Really interesting. Who came up with this?
Right. Right. And why
I feel
is
like they were
Bobby so okay being a woman?
I feel like there were easier things that could have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easier ways to disguise these people, but whatever.
Hmm.
Roy then starts to show Nick the ropes, and they start off on a case of a possible ditto. Roy interrogates this man while eating Indian food, and it makes the ditto reveal himself because dittos don't like curry. Like, it made no sense.
Yeah. They don't. I think it's cumin they don't like
Cumin,
because of
okay.
the later scene or some kind of spice they don't like. That's prominent in Indian food, I guess. I
That's a little racist, but
a
okay.
little.
Because it's only cumin.
Yeah,
Only.
and it's always white people.
It's always white people sniffing this cumin and then they turn into monsters. Like, it's insane. And so they try to arrest this man, but he eats some gold that he has hidden in his fridge and runs away. They're able to
Mhm.
catch him, and after Nick slaps him around a little bit, the Deado pukes up the gold, and Nick takes it before getting frustrated with Roy and throwing him in front of a bus.
I'd do the same.
This causes Roy to lose his hat and he goes ballistic.
Yeah, he really lost it over his hat.
He really loved that hat. So, when they get back to the precinct, it's very busy because there's been a surge of deados in the city. And as they're putting the gold into evidence, Nick thinks that the gold was being hidden from them for a reason. So, so they go meet with Roy's informant, Elliot. Elliot tells them that the gold is useless, but Nick lets him keep the gold. They then follow him and see that he gives the gold to Bobby.
Yes.
Yes. Also, why did Elliot fall for that?
Right. I don't know.
Not smart.
Not smart at all.
And so they follow Bobby and see him go to Nick's house. Inside the house, Bobby tries to plant the idea that Nick was a dirty cop to Julie
It's
after
awful.
finding the gold that Nick hid.
That he poorly hid, by the way. I didn't
V-
mention it earlier, but he did not hide that at
he
all.
did not hide it well.
No,
He
he did
put it
not.
into
Let's
like an
let's
orange
add something.
tree.
Let's add something new to our backyard. That's not
Yeah,
suspicious at
that's not
all.
suspicious at all.
No one's gonna question why I suddenly have an orange tree in the backyard.
Yes,
Of course not.
with freshly pulled dirt. Like, no.
Right?
No one's gonna
No,
look in this.
it's normal.
He would have had better luck hiding it in the floorboards.
No, seriously, because at least it would have been more conspicuous.
Yeah. And so they follow Bobby to see what he wants with this gold, and they see him give it to a Deado. They grab the Deado and take him down to a freezer and question him, and the Deado then pops himself, which is when they turn themselves into a monster by
Yeah,
like sniffing cumin.
cumin. Yeah.
And we go back to the first scene of the movie where they're chasing him.
Hmm.
After some of the most ridiculous action scenes ever put onto screen,
Yes. Yes.
including riding an elevator out of a building.
Yes.
Like, that made no sense. Like, he shot
It did
the
not.
brake and it made them go up. I was like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, like the brake is not keeping you from going up,
It's
dude.
keeping you from going down.
It's keeping you from going down. Like if he had shot one of the I guess one of the tethers, I guess I could see that they could make the argument that it's pulling it up, but there had to be another weight at the bottom. There has to be another weight at the bottom for that to work.
I don't
That's
even.
how that thing
No,
works.
no, no. It don't work. It don't
But there
work.
isn't. It don't work.
It don't work.
They said, let's just put whatever we want here.
Yeah, like this would be cool. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
I've always wanted to animate a scene where an elevator goes through a building.
Yeah. And so Nick is somehow able to get the gold, but the Deado gets away.
They cause so much havoc, by the way.
So much havoc. Like
It's like,
they've ruined buildings.
yes. And people can see them, and I know that like they look different to the like alive world, but there's an old Chinese man with a banana
Yeah, with a
yelling in the
banana.
middle of the street
Their guns
who
look
gets
like
hit by a
bananas.
car, and then there's this ex supermodel just dangling in the air by nothing.
Yeah.
Come
And then
on.
they're chasing like a monster.
Right, like what does that look
Because
like?
for some reason people can see the people can see the
Yes.
Deados.
Yes. Like when they pop, they can see that.
They can see them, which seems like a flaw in the system, but
Yeah.
it's not my system.
Mm-mm.
And so, yeah, this Deado also likes to like do impressions of Elvis. Not even impressions. He just likes to
Yeah.
say Elvis like phrases.
Lines, yeah.
It's very weird.
It is really weird.
Like,
Like
how
there's
long
nothing
have you
about him that screams Elvis
Elvis?
other than like the burns, which were awful by the way.
Which were awful. Like, when did he die? Like the 60s, 50s?
Right. Maybe.
Yikes. And so, when they return to the precinct, Mildred is not happy because living people have
Mm-mm.
seen and taken videos of a Deado. So,
Yes.
Eternal Affairs, which is like their god or
Or
high council or
something. The higher
whatever,
power.
the higher power, puts Nick on like probation or whatever that means.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but they also tell her that the two have found something important. It's called the Staff of Jericho,
Mm-hmm.
which, if built, can reverse the flow of dead people, having them rain onto Earth. And I'm like, who? And like they rightfully so were like, who created that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it sounds awful. Why would you need to do that?
Why would you
Why
do
would
that?
Yeah.
There's no
It
need
doesn't
for
make
that.
sense. No. Don't let the dead rain down on the living. That's awful.
And so, yeah, Roy and Nick are suspended as well, like I said earlier. And
Mm-hmm.
there will also be a hearing the next day to determine if they're erased from the cosmos.
Yeah.
Which, yikes.
Yikes. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. And so Nick leaves and watches his wife jogging, and she sees him.
Creepy.
And she's like, "What do you want with me?"
Yeah.
And he just responds by saying, "I haven't left you," and she just runs off.
The fact that she let him touch her like that,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
this stranger.
Right.
Yikes.
This strange man has followed you to a secluded track somewhere and you're letting him touch you? No.
Not on my watch.
No,
Mm-mm.
absolutely not.
And Roy, who has apparently been there this entire time, tells Nick that he needs to move on.
Yeah. He's freaking his wife out.
Yeah, he's freaking me out, and I'm just watching.
Yeah, right.
And so while talking, they realize that Bobby must be a Deado, so they go looking for him.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Bobby meets with a man who gives him something. He just
Hmm.
gives him like a bag. He's like,
Yeah.
"Here you go."
We don't know what it is.
And Bobby pretty much admits to the audience that he's a Deado.
Yes.
Later, Julie calls Bobby and tells him that she thinks that the Chinese guy might be Nick trying to talk to her. And Bobby's like, sure, let's meet up.
Right.
Let's talk about this. And just when like they get off the phone, Roy and Nick pull up.
Mhm.
They make Bobby take off his lucky medal, and his entire house starts to like fall apart because he is a deado,
Yeah.
and this lucky metal is somehow keeping him from decomposing. I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, they don't really talk about it.
They don't. And the two of them take like him and the gold that he took.
Mhm.
On the way to the R.I.P.D, Bobby tells them that he died when he was shot during a bust and miraculously survived.
Mhm.
When they get to the R.I.P.D, Roy takes a weird item that weird item that was given to him by that random man.
But like, yeah.
Um, and when he puts it into the evidence locker, there's another piece that is also in there. And when they get close to
Yep.
each other, they like connect, causing
Some sort
they
of.
said some sort of like sound, but I was like there wasn't really a sound. It was more
Mm-mm.
like an electric
No.
pulse or whatever.
Yeah, it sent out like some force from the like it looked like an explosion
Yeah, but
that slows everybody down.
they said it was a frequency. So
Mm,
we got to go with what they said. It
yeah.
freezes everyone except for the Deados. How?
Mhm.
Why?
We don't
Who
know.
knows? And so the Deados take all the gold out of the evidence locker and narrowly get away after Roy shoots the device, returning them to normal speed.
Mhm.
The Deados begin to make the staff of Jericho as the R.I.P.D officers fight Deados in the streets. There's like hundreds of them for some reason.
Mhm. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Why they decided to pull this off in Boston, who
Right.
knows?
White Boston.
Why Boston? The device begins to work, and Bobby has some quote unquote officers. We never learn if those are actual police officers.
Yeah.
They
It
just come
he
up and pick up Julie, and she's like, "Okay, cool.
yeah. Yeah, she's like, this is fine. And we're like, is it?
Is it?" Roy and Nick fight off Deados in the streets as they make their way to the device. When Julie gets to where Bobby is, he pops himself and reveals himself as dead to her. And she's like,
Mm.
gross.
Yeah, don't like that.
Yikes. Don't like that. And so Bobby then puts in the last piece and tells Julia. Is her name Julia or Julie? I swear I just saw
Julie,
Julie
no?
somewhere. I'm gonna say Julia because that's what I see for the next like 3 times. Julia.
Okay. Okay.
So Bobby puts in the last piece and tells Julia that he's going to sacrifice her to get the staff
No.
of Jericho to work. Uh, just as Nick and Roy arrive, um, Bobby stabs Julia, and her blood starts to power the staff. After all the other Deados have been erased, Nick fights Bobby while Roy tries to destroy the staff.
Hmm.
Roy is able to eventually destroy it by pulling a construction machine onto it, and Nick erases Bobby. Julia
Damn.
dies, but is
Yes.
able, and so she's able to see Bobby, and somehow she doesn't die. It's never explained how she
Y-
doesn't die.
Yeah, we don't know.
she's
It's just happens that way.
she's dead, but then
But
Bob Nick, sorry, Nick
Nick,
is like, "Hey, I will always love you," and then she wakes up in the hospital.
yeah.
And
Yes. Yes.
I will
Will
always
always
love
love
you.
you.
Ooh,
I will.
Sorry, we're both mentally ill.
Yes, we are.
And so yeah, she wakes up in the hospital, and Mildred tells Nick that their outcomes of the tribunal are done because they did it while the world was ending. they,
Yeah, which is
they
I feel is unfair.
That's very unfair, and like there are more pressing issues at the moment.
Yes,
Maybe let's
right.
let's hold this off. But no, they
Right,
were like,
let's put
we're
off
still doing
the
this.
hearing cuz like the main people who come into question, they're not even here and your whole world is kind of just in the balance right now.
Yeah,
So,
maybe
maybe
let's
get
work
your
on this
priorities
first.
straight.
Yeah, let's work on this
Right.
first, and
Right.
then if we have time, we'll go back to the tribunal.
Yeah, let's circle back.
But yeah, the higher powers decided to have this tribunal anyway, and Nick gets a warning, and Roy gets an extra 53 years on his. I don't mean to say sentence, but I can't think of anything else to call it.
Yeah. Contract?
Contract? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. He gets an extra 53 years. Roy complains, but after Mildred gives him his hat back, he apologizes, and she bites his beard for some reason.
Yeah, there's something weird going on with them.
Uh, Between that and the fact that he thinks ankles are sexy, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I
It's
want to know what's going on.
I don't. I've
Yeah,
already
I
learned too
don't.
much.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I don't like it.
Yeah, don't like it. Not one
I'm
bit.
good.
And then Roy also has a surprise for Nick. He's given him a new identity, but it's a little girl with braces. He's like a Girl Scout.
Yes, he is.
And that's how the movie ends.
Yes.
Okay, Kelly, are you ready for the movie facts? There's not that many.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, in a Reddit Ask Me Anything discussion, Jeff Bridges said that he enjoyed making the movie with the cast and crew, but attributed its failure to studio interference. He also said that
Oh.
the suits just cut it against the grain and I thought screwed it up. He described the film as underwhelming.
Wow. Dang.
um, the Boston police cruisers and ID badges throughout the movie bear the insignia of the same fictional district, A8, featured in many movies, including That's My Boy from 2012, which do not watch that movie, and The Town from
Yeah, I don't
2010.
think I've seen that one.
Don't watch That's
Oh.
My Boy. Please.
Is it not good?
No. And one of the storylines is incest. Don't do
Oh, no,
it.
I'm good.
Don't do it.
I'm good. I'm so
Yeah.
good.
Um, gosh, I don't know how to pronounce this man's last name. Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis?
Is that how you
Yes.
pronounce it? He was
Yes.
originally cast as Roy, but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. How that would have
Oh.
worked? Oh no,
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know how that would have worked. And the last one, last movie fact,
Okay.
another casting. Jodie Foster was considered for the role of Mildred Proctor. I actually kind of would have liked that.
Yeah,
I like
that could
Jodie
have
Foster.
worked. Yeah.
Does Jodie Foster play the same character in all of her movies? Kind of.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would have worked for this movie.
It would have.
It
It
would have.
really would have.
Like, tell me the difference between the characters from Contact, Elysium, and what's that? What's her most famous movie? What is it called? What is it called? Hannibal Lecter. What is it called?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the
Or
Lambs.
Silence of the Lamb.
What's the difference between those three characters? Nothing. Exactly.
Nothing. It's just Jodie
It's
Foster.
just Jodie Foster, Jodie Fostering. Yeah, so that brings up the question, Kelly. Is this movie iconic?
Yes.
Oh, I put no.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a funny movie,
It
but
was kind
I
of
don't know if
painful
it's
to
like
watch.
Yeah, at certain point, like for some reason, the CGI really got to me for some reason.
It was very bad CGI.
It was bad, and this movie's only 10 years old. Like, have we come that far already?
I guess we have because this looked
I guess we
awful.
have. Because, yeah, when during one of the Deado, um, like fight scenes, the guy with the very bad Elvis impressions, like hit like I couldn't look at him for too long because I'm like CGI just it ain't CGIing. It's not doing its thing.
The Deado Kevin Bacon looked so bad. Like
Yes.
so bad.
Like most of the Deados didn't look great.
No.
Like if you really looked at them, they didn't look that great. Um, but yeah, the it's kind of the plot was kind of funny, so I do give it that. But I don't think it's iconic.
Yeah. Not iconic. Also, whenever the Deados were standing next to to like a human person, it looked 10 times worse because they were like a different like
Yeah, it
texture.
did.
Like it was so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Also, the death scene of Nick when he does the fall. There's
It looks
one point
very
where
bad.
like you're where you think he's supposed to like snap his neck, but like the way he hits the ground and then he hits the ground kind of with his head first, and then immediately he's just flat.
Yeah.
Like he hits it and then just does this. Like it's this isn't a visual medium, but he like hits it and then just falls down immediately. Like it just
Yeah.
looked awkward.
It looked really bad.
Yeah,
So yeah, not iconic.
not iconic.
If you ask
Sorry.
me, not watchable, but Kelly thinks it's watchable. I
I think it's one of those movies that when you see it's on, you're like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. I'll put it on and like do
um
something in the background.
not for
Oh,
me. Not for me.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah, yeah. Okay, Kelly, what are your recommendations for this week?
okay. Here we go. I have three recommendations. I'm probably stealing one of yours.
Okay.
Um, but Fly Girl.
Damn it, Kelly.
This is why you don't send me stuff. Fly Girl by Flo featuring Missy Elliott.
It's
Great
fine.
song.
I just want everyone to hear it. That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
He just
And I
wants to
want
spread the good word of Flo.
everyone to remember that I was on the flow train first.
Yes.
I'm the captain if maybe like I'm the captain of the flow train.
Yeah.
I've
He
been saying
facilitated this.
I've been saying since Cardboard Box that they were coming, and
Yes.
they have
Yes,
arrived
you
now.
have.
They got a Missy Elliott feature.
Yeah, they got a Missy Elliott feature.
I kid you not,
They
I've listened
released
to
that
this
we're
song
here.
about 50 times since it's come out. I kid you not.
It's such a good song though, I don't blame you.
Such a good song.
So yeah, that's my first one. My second one is Shake by Jesse McCartney.
Do I know
I
that song?
haven't heard that song in years. Like I mean it years. And it came on one of like the Spotify generated playlists. And
Hmm.
when it came on, I was at work, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. It's a really good
I'm
song.
gonna have
It's
to
a
look that
bop.
up. I don't remember that song. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Shawty getting me up, shawty getting me up. Knows I got the best in town. No?
It's not ringing a bell.
Okay. Yeah, go look it up. Um, and then my last recommendation is Body on Me by Ashanti, Nelly, and Akon.
I do know that song.
Yes. That song came out in like spring break era. So it kind of just pops into my brain every like March. So yes, go listen to that song. It's such a good song.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, as for me, Fly Girl was my first one, of course.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm just gonna reiterate, listen to that song, watch the music video. Great, great time. My second recommendation is The Color Purple, the new Broadway cast recording. It's really good
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
at work one day I watched the Color Purple movie, which I've seen before, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, but I was like, I haven't heard like the songs from the musical. Or I knew some of the songs from the
Mm,
musical, but I haven't like listened to the
mm.
entire thing. I listened to the entire thing. It was really good.
Cynthia Erivo kills it. I love her.
Really
She's got
good
a great
singing.
voice.
Great voice. Can't wait to see her in Wicked. So yeah, listen
Yes.
to that. Get a little taste of Cynthia Erivo.
Mm-hmm.
Get you ready for the Wicked movie, which I think comes out next year.
Oh, I thought it came out like at the end of this year.
Does it?
That's what I
Oh,
heard.
well. Aren't they
Oh,
like still are they still filming it?
I don't know.
They better
I
hurry
remember
up.
Ariana Grande posting something, but I
Maybe they're
don't
gonna actually
know.
paint her green and they won't go the
CGI.
terrible CGI green route.
Okay, no. See, I saw November and I thought this year. It's November of next year.
See, I knew it could be. I was like, they're still filming. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but maybe they could make it happen. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
November 27, 2024.
Okay, I might be there. I might be seated. We'll see. We'll
I will
see.
be seated.
I might. I need a trailer.
Oh,
This
true.
this director has burned some bridges. Let me see a trailer.
But I feel like I have to go for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Like, even if it's bad, like, I have to hear it. I have to see it.
I I don't admit to crimes on the internet, but I may have a way you would be able to watch the movie.
Oh? We are
You
not
know,
admitting or denying anything.
yeah.
What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me
But
neither. Let's move
I
on.
all I know is I was going to tell you my next recommendation, which is Smoke
Yeah, go
by
ahead.
Victoria Monet featuring Lucky Day. It's a
Oh.
good song. First off, Victoria Monet makes good music. Everyone go listen to Victoria Monet's discography.
Mm-hmm.
She makes excellent music, and I can't wait for this new album because Jaguar is such a good album. So,
Mm-hmm.
everyone listen to Smoke by Victoria Monet featuring Lucky Day. Also, in the music video, she pole dances and she looks amazing. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for
Okay.
listening.
Thank
Don't forget to
you.
follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and Instagram. They're both at SY2YI Podcasts. Also, don't forget to send us your movie requests or your movie stories at our email, sy2yipodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this movie?
Yeah.
Do you think it's iconic? Let us know.
Please.
Ryan Reynolds, if you're listening. Um,
Hey,
hi.
how you
Did
doing?
you like this movie? Do
Just asking.
Ryan Reynolds, I need you to tell me which movie you like better. This movie or Green Lantern?
Y'all, that's foul. Don't do that.
No, I need an answer. Tell me. This movie or Green Lantern?
The world needs to know.
The world needs to know. What is your worst movie? If I honestly, it might be Green Lantern.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah, let us know, Ryan Reynolds. Also, don't forget
Yes.
to share this with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Spotify or
Hmm.
Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And rate and review us on Apple Podcasts with 5 stars.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Everyone, have a good week. Everyone, pray for
Hmm.
us to have a good week because these people are
Yes.
trying us.
Yes, they are.
They're trying us. And stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.